Welcome back, everybody, to the World of Railways Virtual Exhibition Part 3. For our next segment, I'm joined with the Marketing Manager of Dapol, Neil Morrlle. Neil, welcome to the show. Once again, how's things at your end?
Thank you, Howard. Yeah, no, everything's fine up here. So far, so good. Are you keeping well?
Yeah, not so bad myself. As you can see, there's a bit of, Lego hair going on at the moment. I'm sure you're going to make a comment about it, but don't worry.
No, I'm just jealous. Mine came off after the first interview with Lawrence, so I haven't had any for a good 12 months almost now.
Well, it's good to see you. It's good to see you back with us. And one of the things that I'd like to start on with this interview is what I can see behind you. The Mark 1 coaches. Obviously, this is a highly anticipated new release from yourselves. It's also going to be the third ready-to-run Mark 1 coach in the scale, O gauge. So I have to ask you the question, is this going to be the definitive Mark 1 coach?
Well, we certainly hope so, particularly with the amount of work Richard and the rest of the design team have put in. It's really is a fantastic model. The liveries are gorgeous. They're quite technologically advanced with independent lighting in the corridors, in the compartments, the guard compartments. It's all switchable, so if you're in analog, you can turn one part of the lighting off in each coach and how to turn it back on, and choose what you want on in what coach. And obviously it's also DCC ready, and we can also provide DCC fitted models.
Right, and you are releasing these in small batches to retailers and the general public, starting with a select number of liveries. I believe later on, though, you'll be producing them with different bogies, for example, Commonwealth or perhaps even B4. Will we see other liveries as well then?
I would like to think we'll do some more liveries, but we'll get these ones out first. The Commonwealth bogie and the different iterations of window and other features were advertised from the very beginning as they will be included in future runs. So definitely something to look forward to.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to seeing those. I can't wait to see them, to actually get hold of them and actually analyse them and see what they feel like in the hand. Obviously, I've got to ask you, Marketing Manager of Dapol, one of the things that we've seen you branch out into recently is the launch of Dapol TV on your YouTube channel. I have to ask the question, are you seeing engagement with a different audience there compared to your Dapol forum? Is that a new clientele you're trying to tap into? What's feedback been like on some of your products?
Well, Dapol TV is something that I do. I'm obviously having to learn a few new skill sets and appear in front of the camera, which isn't my favourite activity. It just gives us a new medium of showing people visually what's around you. We can hopefully get into sound recordings to exhibit our sound profiles that we put into our locomotives and things. So far, it's been a nice, friendly environment. People are happy to comment. And again, it's normally me that ends up writing back when I get the chance to answer any questions in there. And as I say, so far it's been nice and friendly. I think it's been fairly well received. It will be something that hopefully grows and continues in its complexity, and hopefully it gets better and better.
As a manufacturer, obviously, you're beginning to get a bit of a reputation now for innovation in the model railway market. We've seen that with the opening smoke box doors on locomotives to access the decoders. One of the things that has recently obviously landed on my desk, and this is the second batch. The first, unfortunately, had to be recalled, but worthwhile because these are beautiful models, and now working. Modelers, I know, are getting great feedback on them. Your motorized water towers for 4mm scale. So we've got DCC sound in this model for those that aren't completely au fait. We've got sounds of the locomotive crew shouting whether there's an overflow or I think it's fantastic. Everything's included. The wires. We've even got a push button to activate it, and this works on a 9 to 12 volt, I believe, power supply. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of innovation that's gone into making this model. Can you see something like this being produced in other scales, given that you've got quite a heavy presence in 7mm scale now?
Well, when it comes to different scales, I think you'd struggle fitting all that into an N-gauge model. It'd have to be a very, very different mechanism and method of delivering it. So I think that might be beyond the pale, so to speak. But O-gauge is certainly something we've been discussing. So you never know. Hopefully one day we'll see it in O-gauge, and O-gauge layouts around the country can enjoy them the same as the double O. People take this as a very serious hobby, and quite rightly so, but you know, we all do this for the fun.
Absolutely. So obviously it's something that can be used on pretty much any transitional era layout. From a small country halt to a larger station, you're releasing them in different liveries as well. Is this something that you're quite keen to focus on then, these sort of more generic items that can be justified on pretty much any transitional era layout?
I think the more generalized and the more you would see something on a railway and therefore on somebody's layout, obviously the better it's going to sell. If you do something that's very, very specific and nichey, then numbers of sales are probably going to be that little bit less, and you know, you have to wonder if therefore it would be worth your while doing. So, you know, from our point of view, it has to sell and sell well to keep the price point down. And you know, if there's more nichey stuff, then you know, there's other companies out there at the various shows who specialize in certain things, and you know, good on them.
Absolutely. Well, I have to ask the question then, are there other similar items that we can expect to see coming forwards from Dapol in the near future?
There's certainly a few things that are getting thrown around in the meeting room, so hopefully at some point in the future we'll see a few other things arriving as well.
Fantastic. Well, one of the things that we unfortunately can't see at the moment is your Class 66 EPs, which I believe are due just after this show goes live. But for viewers at home, if you'd like to see these, check out World of Railways. We'll be putting up a news story as soon as we see those samples. In terms of something that we might be able to see, however, in the near future, is a new announcement, I believe. What's that we can look forward to?
As you're aware, the double O gauge mogul came out recently, just at the end of last year, beginning of this year, and that has proven extremely popular, as you can imagine. So we are expanding that range so that we are increasing the tooling suite so that we can make the rest, or a bigger portion of the moguls, between the numbers 4321 and 5383. So it's got the usual die-cast compensated chassis, a new cab with a higher and shorter roof, porthole cab windows above the firebox, again, only where appropriate, obviously. Detailed cab interior with lever reverser, full profile cylinders, which we saw on the first model, a new motion bracket and boiler support, new straight chimney where it would be appropriate to the prototype, the original front pony spring housing where appropriate, a new foot plate with a longer middle splasher on the right hand side. It'll have brass plated safety valve casings. The front bogie is going to be sprung and will operate on a cam, the same as the other model that we did, and that will be able to negotiate R2 curves with ease. And there'll also be a smooth sided tender that will be coming out to go behind the relevant locomotives.
So in terms of this model, given that it's going to be based on, I'm assuming, the underpinnings of your previous mogul, will we expect to see a bit of a fast track to market with this model then?
I would imagine you're going to see it in the marketplace Q1, Q2 next year, so right. 2022.
So that's quite a fast turnaround, though, given that you haven't even started the EP process and livery samples, etc.
Well, all the CADs are pretty much finished now, and then it's off to the tooling shop, and you know, then you've obviously got to go through the decoration, the deco sample phase, production sample phase, and but you know, it's a tried and tested model now.
Yeah.
And we're basically changing the pretty bits, so it shouldn't be too long at all.
Well, thanks for that, Neil. It sounds brilliant. I'm sure Great Western Railway fans will be delighted to hear about that news. But in terms of models that modelers can get hold of now or shortly in shops, what are we looking forward to? What are the next products to arrive from Dapol?
Well, the O-gauge 122s and the O&K hoppers are physically on the water now, so give it 6 weeks or so, they're going to be going out to shops. We've obviously already announced the Manor, which we're aiming to get out before the end of the year. We've got Stroudley four-wheel coaches in O-gauge. There's the M7, which hopefully will be out towards the end of this year, which is an N-gauge retooling. With some performance enhancements there. I don't know if you saw the video on Dapol TV the other day, hauling, I think it's 10 Mark III coaches behind it, so it's certainly got plenty of grunt.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things on the way, and lots of things to keep us busy, which you will find out about in due course.
Well, it sounds fantastic, Neil. Thank you very much for your time today. It's appreciated as always. And for the viewers at home, if you'd like to check out all of these products from Dapol, check out the Dapol website. And for all the news updates on all the products coming forwards, check out worldofrailways.co.uk. We'll post them up as soon as we receive them. Neil, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, Howard. Take care of yourself. See you again soon.
Thank you.